with our program, our weekly Saturday program, and as usual, we'll start with our sacred ceremony of the Aarti, and His Grace Indra Prabhu will lead us for the Aarti. Hare Krishna. I just said Indra Prabhu will lead us with the Aarti. I should be leading you with the Aarti. Kirtan, yeah. Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pasyata Deshatarine Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pasyata Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare
Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Namaste Narasimhaya
Namaste Narasimhaya,
Praladadayine Hiranyakashipurvakshaha Shilatankanakalaye Ito Nasimha Parato Nasimha Yato Yato Yami Tato Nasimha Bahe Nasimha Hridaye Nasimho Narasimha Madim Sharanam Prakar Tava kara kamalavare nakam adbhuta shringam dalita hiranyakashipu tanubringam Keshavadita Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Keshavadita Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadisha Hare Keshavadita Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Jayo Narsimhadev, Jayo Narsimhadev, Jayo Narsimhadev, Jayo Narsimhadev. Jayo Madhai Maharaj, Jaya Prahlad Maharaj, Jaya Prahlad Maharaj, Jayo Prahlad Maharaj. Prahlad Maharaj, Jaya Prahlad Maharaj, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev. Gurudev, Gurudev, Jaya Jaya Gurudev. Nitya Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitya Gaura Hari Bol.
जय ओम विष्णुपाद परम परिवार का
I tried a new tune.
अभय चरण His Divine Grace अभय चरण अरविंद भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय जय ओम विष्णुपाद परम परिवार का आचार्य श्री श्रीमद His Divine Grace भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय नामाचार्य श्रील हरिदास ठाकुर की जय प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवास आदि गौर भक्तवृंद की
जय
श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन धाम की
जय
वृंदावन मथुरा धाम की
जय
मायापुर नवद्वीप धाम की
जय
पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की
जय
गंगामयी यमुनामयी की
जय
भक्ति देवी की
जय
तुलसी महारानी की
जय
हरिनाम संकीर्तन की
जय
साम वेद भक्त वृंद की
जय
All glories to assemble devotees.
Hare Krishna
All glories to assemble devotees.
Hare Krishna
All glories to assemble devotees.
Hare Krishna
All glories, all glories, all glories to Sri Guru and Gauranga.
Hare Bol.
Hare Krishna. Welcome again to our temple program, weekly temple program. And thank you everyone for joining us for the Aarti. We now welcome His Grace Adishyam Prabhu to please come ahead and talk about the topic for today, which is the glories of Jagai and Madhai. We touched upon it a little bit in I think the last couple of sessions, and it was quite fun. We couldn't actually finish it, but hopefully this will be a great session today with this topic. So welcome His Grace Adishyam Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Okay. As always, we'll start with Kirtan. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari, Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari, Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari, Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari, Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana, Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana, Yamuna Tiravanachari, Yamuna Tiravanachari, Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari, Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari, Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari, Vallabha Girivaradhari, Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana, Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana, Yamuna Tiravanachari, Yamuna Tiravanachari, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Rama, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Jaya Radhe Shyam Jaya Radhe Shyam Jaya Radhe Shyam Jaya Radhe Shyam Jaya Jaya Jagannatha Jaya Jagannatha Jaya Baladeva Mai Subhadra Jaya Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. Jai Shri Harinam Sankirtan Yagya ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki Jai. Figure. Hare Krishna, welcome. As Mataji so kindly mentioned, last time we briefly touched on it, the pastime of Deliverance of Jagai and Madhai. So today we'll go into it in a little bit more detail. This is a very difficult pastime, in the sense it's an easy pastime to speak about superficially, but there is so much depth and nuance to it that it is a little bit challenging. It can go in so many different directions. So we'll get into it. Before that, let's chant the pranam mantras. Om Ajnana Timirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So many times when we practice bhakti, right, it feels very difficult. It feels, Krishna says that bhakti should be easy to do, right, pleasurable to do, but for those of us who are practicing, it doesn't really feel like it many times, right. We do have moments of bliss and happiness, otherwise we wouldn't be here, but we do have times where our daily sadhana becomes more like a burden, right. Somehow we drag ourselves across the line with whatever our quota is every day, right. So when such things come, we may feel, when we look at all these pastimes, we see spontaneous devotion, right? Especially in Vrajavasis and others. We see such love that is overflowing automatically, right? Just like the example given at times is how an iron is attracted towards a magnet. That's how love for Krishna should be in our hearts. But that is not how it is for most of us. So we may feel like, do we have any hope in achieving such spontaneous devotional service? Right? So this pastime gives us that hope. Right? I was listening to a lecture today, and the Maharaj was saying, it's okay to feel helpless in bhakti, but one should never feel hopeless. Right? So today we'll see why there is always hope. There is always hope because of the unlimited magnanimity of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Lord Nityananda. So Mahaprabhu was still in Navadvip, and Lord Nityananda had arrived, and Mahaprabhu was preparing to launch the Sankirtana movement. Right? So one day he calls Lord Nityananda and Haridas Thakur, and he says, this is actually a verse where he says, "Come here, both of you, listen to me." Right? And he tells them, go to every house and you preach the Lord's names. Bolo Krishna, bhajo Krishna, karo Krishna sikha. Right? He says that you should preach the Lord's names, sing the Lord's names, and preach and talk or spread his instructions. Karo Krishna siksha. Right? So now our acharyas comment, why Lord Nityananda? Why did he pick these two personalities? Right? Lord Nityananda is Adi Guru. Right? He is the original spiritual master. He is the Guru Tattva. So naturally, if somebody like him instructs, people will follow. Right? And the other person is Haridas Thakur. What is his speciality? Namacharya. Right? He is known as Namacharya because he would chant 192 rounds every day. So 3 lakh names he would chant every day. And in a perfect manner. Not just meeting the count, he would chant it in a very perfect manner. So he was given the title Namacharya. And if you think about it, we struggle with doing our 16. He used to do 192 rounds perfectly, and he also had time to perform these pastimes like we are going to talk about today. Right? So, and the other comment is, one is a Brahmana and other is a non-Hindu. Right? So Mahaprabhu covered diversity as well, because Bengal had a lot of Muslim population, so he made sure that they were also represented in this combination. So Mahaprabhu sent them out, but it wasn't just, told them something and left. He said he wanted a daily report. So go out, do this, and at the end of the day, come and tell me. Right? Bhakti is a very serious business. Right? When we get work assigned at wherever we work, we have to report on progress, we have to keep up with deadlines, timelines, things like that. So Mahaprabhu said, I want to see who will not take instructions from such personalities. So you come and tell me every day what happened today, right, on each day. So both of them took these instructions to their heart and they set out to execute. There is a verse in Bhagavad Gita which says, Vyavasayatmika buddhi ekeha kurunandana. It says that one must have single-pointed determination in performing our actions. This is how one must treat spiritual master's instructions. So any instruction given by the spiritual master must be treated as the only objective and executed in the same way, without any deviation. So being fixed in a guru's instructions is a way to even measure our progress in bhakti and ensure our progress in bhakti, both together. Right? Now, they were going around and preaching to people to chant the Lord's names, right? Now, what do you get when you chant the Lord's name? What is actually happening? Our acharyas explain, when you chant the Lord's name, we are actually interacting with the Supreme Lord directly. He manifests himself when we chant his name. And Krishna says that too, right? And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, all of the Lord's potencies are invested in his name. So now, if you think about it, if I told you whoever was your favorite personality, popular personality, and we said you could meet that person, but you will have to sit in this room for a day, you will have to do these. If I put 50 conditions, most people would somehow manage all those conditions just to meet that personality, right? Now by chanting, we are actually associating with the Supreme Lord Himself, right? So even if you got to meet that personality, how proud would we be, right? You would take pictures, you would have all that, you would show it off to everybody. Right? So the Lord's names are like that. They are interacting directly with the Supreme Lord. And so Nityananda Mahaprabhu, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted everybody to experience it. Lord Nityananda and Haridas Thakur also wanted to do that. Right? Even though Krishna is supreme and he is very difficult to find, right? Krishna says that even if you study all the Vedas, you will not know me. But Mahaprabhu is giving us association of the Supreme Lord in a very easy manner. It is so easy that we take it very lightly, right? So only through the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu are we able to associate with the Supreme Lord through chanting. Right? So they both walked out onto the streets and they were begging people, like, Krishna is your life, Krishna is your true wealth. No? What do we have that is not coming from Krishna? So chant His name. Right? And different people reciprocated in different ways. Some would look at these two personalities, realize their divinity, and they would say, yes, I will chant, and start chanting. That would make them both very happy. Some would say, no, I don't want to chant, I don't have time, I'm too busy, you leave, right? Others were openly hostile towards them, right? Especially the caste brahmanas there would spread rumors that these two are there to, they are finding out which house has what vulnerabilities, then they will send dacoits later in the night to steal and stuff like that. So there were different types of people. They were even threatened by some and all that. But no matter what response they got, neither of them, Nityananda Prabhu and Haridas Thakur, never gave up. Right? They never gave up and they kept working, right? Without worrying about the fruits or the results. They are only concerned with executing the instructions. What the result is, they acknowledge that it is the Supreme Lord's doing. Right? That was their attitude. And when you have full confidence in Guru's instructions and you work hard to execute, the potency to execute those instructions also comes with it. Right? So they would go do this. Every evening they would return to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, report to him everything that had happened. So one day as they were preaching, they saw a lot of chaos on the street. Right? They saw two drunken thieves creating so much trouble. So then they asked, who are these people? So people never said, oh no, these two were born Brahmins, but due to poor association, they took to all sorts of bad habits. They drink liquor, they eat cow's flesh, they steal, they kill, they do every possible crime you can imagine they do. Right? They've been terrorizing the neighborhood. They burn things, they speak obscene words, they do all of those things. So people would keep the distance. So much so that when they come down the street, everybody would close their doors and hide. Right? And it is said that if even their shadow falls on them, they would run into the Ganges along with their clothes just to free themselves of that sin. Right? They were so sinful. So then, this is also a lesson for us. Right? Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita that one may, as if you fail, if you are not able to complete your path in yoga, then next birth you will get Shuchinam Shrimatam Gehe. He says you would get birth in a pious family, in an aristocratic family with wealth, where things can be set up to do bhakti. Right? But that alone is not enough. Just because we have gotten this opportunity in this lifetime to live in a relatively comfortable position that we can pursue bhakti, we should not take it for granted, because bad association can lead anybody astray, just like it did for Jagai and Madhai. Acharyas explain that, rather Vrindavan Das Thakur explains that they had committed all kinds of sin except one, which was Vaishnava aparadha. And Vrindavan Das Thakur explains the only reason they didn't is they never bothered to associate with Vaishnavas. Otherwise they would have done that also. So they never went near a Vaishnava, so they never committed Vaishnava aparadha. Right? Now, Lord Nityananda sees them, right? And he thought, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has come here, Patita Pavana, right? Patita Pavana Hetu Tavavatara, right? The bhajan. So he said, okay, we can tell, but nobody will believe. Now, if Chaitanya Mahaprabhu delivers these two, then everybody will know his power, right? Now, this is Lord Nityananda, right? He doesn't think I will deliver them, right? He thinks the Lord will deliver them. So when we act, we should not be ahankara vimudhatma kartaham iti manyate. We should not think that we are the doers. If we approach any action and task given by our spiritual master or any activity with the attitude that we are only the means, we are only attempting, we are a tool, the doer is the Supreme Lord, then we'll be successful. Even if the result is not what we expect, the task will be successful, right? So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, okay, if I can help deliver them, then I will have done some small service to the Lord, right? So thinking in this way, he tells Haridas Thakur, look at these two, they are destined for punishment by Yamraj, right? But if you desire their welfare, then the Lord will deliver them. Just like he delivered all the Muslim soldiers who were beating Haridas Thakur. Haridas Thakur prayed to the Lord to deliver them or forgive them, and the Lord did. Right? So Haridas Thakur laughed and he said, since you desired it, it has to happen. And so they decided to go. Now, seeing them approach towards those two, people all around were panicking. They said, no, don't do this. Are you both crazy? Why do you want to commit suicide? Right? Especially Nityananda Prabhu was young. He's like, you have long life ahead of you. Don't do this. Right? Now, I was hearing this lecture and the Maharaj, Radhanath Swami was joking, in ISKCON when they do these, Jagai Madhai is like the most performed drama within ISKCON. But he was like, when you see in ISKCON, there are two very thin looking kids or brahmacharis who are doing this, right? But in reality, those two were really big, hefty, heavy personalities. They were very, very threatening in appearance. So scary that people would run away. Now, these two are approaching such personalities, right? Now, they are going very confidently. Their confidence is in what? It is in the Lord's instructions, not in themselves. Right? They are not thinking, oh, I am great, nothing will happen to me, I can deal with anything that happens. No. They are thinking, the Lord told me to act, my responsibility is to act along with that, along the lines of that order. Right? Result, whatever it is the Lord's doing. So they decide to go. So they went and begged Jagai Madhai. Now Jagai Madhai see these two and they come up and everybody is running. These two are coming in the opposite direction and saying, chant Hare Krishna. Now these two are inebriated. They were always drunk. They are inebriated. So in total anger, they didn't know what to speak, how to respond. They simply started screaming and lifting their hands to beat them. Now while this happened, these two ran, right? Nityananda Prabhu and Haridas Thakur start running. While running, Lord Nityananda says, if we somehow escape today, we'd be really lucky indeed. It will be like a huge luck for us if we escape. Now Haridas Thakur is saying, what are you talking about luck? right? He's older, so he's breathing heavily. What are you talking about luck? You dragged me into this and brought this trouble onto us, and now what is all this luck got to do with it, right? We are asking for it, right? And then Nityananda Prabhu says, no, look in your heart. You know whose fault it is. It is your master. Your master, he's a Brahmana, but he sits on his bench and he gives orders like a king. He tells us to go preach to sinners and thieves. Now what can we do? If we go preach, we are in trouble. If we don't follow, we are in trouble anyway. So what can we do, right? So they say no one else gives such orders like this, right? So then they kept joking like this throughout, and they are running. Now Jagai and Madhai were inebriated, they were hefty, right? So they fell behind. They fell so far behind that they gave up the chase. It is said even though they gave up the chase, their anger was not abated. So they both actually started fighting each other, right? Now by then these two had ran off, and so the two devotees ran and went to Srivas Thakur's house. And there they first reported to Advaita Acharya. So first thing, Haridas Thakur, he started to complain, right? This Mahaprabhu, he has put me with this madman, I don't know what to do. That day, he suddenly decided to jump into the Ganges and was floating along with the crocodiles, right? So he would lie down on his back like a corpse and he would float along with the crocodiles. And my life is in my hands. I am looking. The crocodiles are all swimming around him and he is floating away. I am running on the ground trying to keep up with him, make sure he is okay, right? And then he says, he goes, steals butter, and then he runs away, right? He's young, he's fast. I get caught. I can't run as fast as him. They catch me and they scold me because they cannot scold him. He does all these things. He did various other things. He would go make fun of women, and then he would go say, come marry me, he would say, and then they would run away. So there would be all kinds of trouble he would make, right? And Haridas Thakur would be stuck in all of this, right? He's an older man, he's more calm, unlike Nityananda Prabhu, who's Avadhut, right? So then he says, all this was still okay. I was somehow managing, but this time he went too far. Today, he got me killed, almost killed. I barely survived with my life. He made me preach to these two drunkards, and they started to beat me and I had to run. We somehow saved our lives and came here, so today I am done. Right? Advaita Acharya laughs and he's like, it's your fault. You made a mistake. 3 drunkards, they are bound to be together. What are you doing in between them? Right? Nityananda Prabhu is drunk in the names of the Lord. He is always drunk with love of the Lord. And those two are drunk with liquor. Drunkards get along. They will have fighting, they will have arguments, they will get along. Because you were in the middle, you were in trouble. Otherwise, you would have been okay. Right? So, then he says, you see, Nimai and Nitai will make them equal to us in just a few days. Right? Now, this incident made its way to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as well. So, Mahaprabhu said, okay, I will kill them now. Right? Mahaprabhu wanted to kill them because he was angry that his devotees were threatened, were in danger. So, Nityananda Prabhu said, don't be angry, let me preach to them, we will uplift them. Then Mahaprabhu smiled and he said, oh Nityananda, the moment they laid eyes on you, they were liberated. They have been delivered. Now, remember, how did they look at Nityananda Prabhu? Out of anger, out of desire to hurt him, right? Not out of love or even indifference. And still, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, even by looking at him in that way, they will be delivered. And that is the potency of Lord Nityananda, right? We talked about it a couple of weeks ago. We went into glories of Lord Nityananda a little bit. So now imagine what our position will be if we approach him with love, or even without love, even with some respect if we approach him, right? That is why when you approach Nityananda Prabhu, out of any sort of begging his mercy, then the relief that we get is compared to 10 million moons, right? That was the bhajan we sang that day as well. So, whenever we get a chance, we should go, we should see the Nityananda, Gauranitaya are in every temple, ISKCON temple mostly all over the world, right? The Detroit temple has Gauranitaya deities as well. Those deities were installed by Srila Prabhupada himself, right? Every temple, even in Canada, the ISKCON temples will have Gauranitaya for this purpose. Because if we go there, that's why we worship, we pay obeisances to Nityananda Prabhu first, so that we can take his mercy before we pay obeisances to Radha Krishna. So the benefit is extraordinary, we just need a little faith. Okay. So then, after this incident, what happens is that Jagai and Madhai actually take up residence in a tree by the banks of Ganges, near the ghat that is closest to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's house where he was staying. So they would be there, they would be drunk all night, they would hear the Kirtan going on. Right? The Kirtan would be going on and they would be dancing to the Kirtan inebriated. No idea what it is, they would just be dancing to it and keep hearing. All night they would hear Kirtan. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was awake all night doing Kirtan. These two were also awake all night drinking, right? They were in the same sort of a sleep pattern, and they kept it up. And they would come, sometimes it said they would see Nimai and say, Nimai Pandit, I know what you are doing. I hear you. All night I hear you singing glories of Chandi Devi. That's how they interpreted Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, right? You can imagine their state of the mind. So, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would just ignore them and go. He himself would ignore them and go, right? So, this was going on. And then one evening, Nityananda Prabhu decided enough is enough. Now is the time to deliver them. So, he decides to go right by the tree where these two are. And they stop him and says, hey, I know you, right? You are that troublesome person, I know you. You escaped last time, now you stand here, you tell me what your name is. How dare you come in front of us again? Right? He says, he's like, no, I'm just going to Nimai's house. I just happened to pass by this way, that's all. So what is your name? Right? So he says, my name is Avadut. So then when Madhai heard this, he got angry. He was like, what kind of a name is Avadut? There is no way that is his real name. I'm threatening him. Instead of being scared, he is replying in a smart ass way, right? So he picks up this wine pot and he hits him on the head. They had an empty wine pot and he hit him on the head. And when Jagai saw Madhai, so when Lord Nityananda got hit, he didn't say anything. He didn't scream, he didn't get angry, he didn't run. He just stood there and he said, chant Hare Krishna. So that got Madhai even more angry. This time he raised the pot again with another pot to hit him. Right? And then Jagai stopped him. He said, what are you doing? This is a sannyasi. Don't be so cruel. No good can come from hitting a sannyasi. Right? So while this happened, when this noise happened, people around saw this start off. So they ran to Mahaprabhu and told him, Nityananda Prabhu is in trouble. Please come. Right? So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu heard of this and he rushed. And then he saw that blood coming from Lord Nityananda's forehead and drenching his body. So he got very angry, and in anger he called for his chakra, the Sudarshan chakra. When the chakra came, it's actually said that the Sudarshan chakra is so blindingly bright and furious that it lights up all the directions around. Right? And so when they saw this, Jagai and Madhai realized they were in real trouble. Right? They mellowed down almost instantly. So then Nityananda Prabhu quickly ran and begged Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He said, no, don't kill them. When Madhai was going to hit me a second time, Jagai saved my life. Right? So then, Jagai didn't stop him the first time. He stopped him the second time, and Nityananda Prabhu is saying he saved his life. Right? For us, we would take any slight offense and we would keep it in our mind, right? All our life trying to get back at that person. Nityananda Prabhu was physically injured, but he only saw the good. So for us, that is a sign. No matter how much filth is in our heart, Krishna doesn't see that. Especially Guru Tattva, right? Lord Nityananda will only see the good in our heart, and the spiritual master will nurture it, that good. That is how the creeper or bhakti lata can grow, because they don't see all the weeds around. They focus on the good things in our heart and nurture them, right? So when he said this, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's heart melted, right? He went and he embraced Jagai and he said, "You have protected Nityananda, so you have now purchased me." That was his statement, right? So now this was, like I said, stopped him the second time, and that pleased Chaitanya Mahaprabhu so much. So now think about how much pleasure he would get if we serve Lord Nityananda, right? If we follow his instructions and we serve Lord Nityananda, how much pleasure Mahaprabhu will get, right? By extension, Guru, right? Serving our spiritual master, we will have the same effect. And then Mahaprabhu says, now you will have pure love and devotion for Krishna. So Jagai fell unconscious, that it was too much for him. He just fell unconscious. So then the Lord asked him to arise, and when he opened his eyes, he sees Mahaprabhu in a four-armed form, right? In Shankha Chakra Gada Padma, in four-armed form. When he saw the Lord in that four-armed form, he again out of ecstasy fainted. This time the Lord picks up his foot and places on his chest. So he grasped the Lord's feet and wept, washed the Lord's feet with his tears. Now, Madhai is standing here watching all this, right? He sees this transformation and he's like, please help me, right? He went to hold Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's feet and says, please bless me also. So Mahaprabhu says, no, I cannot bless you, right? He says, so then Madhai says, what do you mean? He and I have done every activity together, right? All sins we have committed together, everything we have done, there is no difference. So if he can be saved, I should also be saved. So then Mahaprabhu says, he will tolerate, right? So Mahaprabhu says, because you hurt Nityananda, I will not deliver you. So then Madhai says, no, that is not true. You have delivered. I know when you came as Krishna, there were demons who were killing you. Putana came with the intention of killing Krishna, right? She fed him poison. And still Krishna delivers Putana, right? And so he says, even though they came expressly to kill you, you have delivered these demons. So why not me? Right? So then he says, if somebody tries to hurt me, I can forgive. But if somebody tries to hurt my devotee, I will never forgive. Right? That is why the Acharyas point out, even though they committed so many sins, they never did Vaishnava Aparadha. And that is very important, because that sin is very difficult. The Vaishnava Aparadha is very difficult to overcome. They did not do that. So then he says, okay, please tell me, how can I be saved then? He says, now go fall at Lord Nityananda's feet, and then if he's okay, if he forgives you, then you're done, right? You're safe. So Madhai immediately ran, and then Lord Nityananda says, when when he fell at his feet, Nityananda looks at Mahaprabhu and he says, what can I say? I have not taken any offense. And he doesn't stop there. He says, not only in this life, in all my previous lives, if I have committed or whatever devotional service, whatever little service I have done, give him the effects of all that service. Right? And think about this. This is Lord Nityananda who is as Balaram serving Krishna, as Lakshmana serving Ram, right? So many lifetimes. As Sankarshana, he is non-stop serving Mahavishnu, right? He is there as Seshanag, non-stop serving Mahavishnu. He is saying all, give him the result of all the service that I have done for you. To whom? To the person who injured him and was about to kill him. See, that is why Nityananda Prabhu, even though Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Mahavadanyaya, Nityananda Prabhu is actually even more merciful. Right? It is out of an open secret that if you go to Nityananda Prabhu, you get even more mercy than Mahaprabhu. So then Mahaprabhu said, in that case, all you have to do is embrace Madhai. If you embrace Madhai, then he will get the full potency. So that was the benefit. Right? So Madhai immediately became pure. He got the love. So if you think about it, right, even within ISKCON, if you get to touch the deity's feet, right, second initiates get to touch, it's a very wonderful opportunity. If in our hearts we have the right frame of mind, the faith that we are interacting with the Supreme Lord, right, we do Abhishekam, right, to deities. If we do it with the right frame of mind, that this is the Supreme Lord to whom we are offering, we can get this effect. Right? No matter how much we try, we won't be able to sin as much as Jagai and Madhai. Right? So if we have the right faith, we can easily get that result. So then Mahaprabhu told them both, I have delivered you now, but only if you don't commit any sins. If you stop committing sins from now onwards, I shall take all your sins and get rid of them. Right? So then he told all of his followers that these two have become purified. They are capable of purifying Ganga herself. So now take them. So he brought them into the house for participating in Kirtan. Right? Now, how much time did it take to deliver them of their mountains of sin? It was so much. This incident was so incredible that all devatas were there. Even Yamaraj was watching this whole pastime happen. So he asks Chitragupta, he said, okay, how much sin did they commit? And Chitragupta is like, I have an entire department dedicated to recording their sins. I can't even keep up and calculate. We are somehow barely managing to record it. Right? There is a storehouse full of these records. But now it's all empty. Right? That much, right? When Yamaraj heard this, he also fainted. He was like, how is this even possible? Right? So that much sin can be delivered in instantly, absolutely no time. Now we should never doubt the power of bhakti. We should never doubt the power of holy names. We should never ever doubt the power of instructions of a guru. These are all very, very precious. I was listening to a class and like, Aushadhi, Maha Aushadhi is what Maharaj was saying. Maha Aushadhi. That is what this is. Right? We are all hankering after so much sansara dava, right? We are in this fire, this tormenting fire of material existence, and this is the remedy. Guru's instructions, holy names are the remedy, because that allows us to perform bhakti. And when we do, no matter what our position is, we can be delivered. That is why Krishna has all these pastimes, right? It is not meant to tell us, do whatever you want, you will be saved. No. Because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told them, if you sin again, you are gone. Right? Now, what did these two do? After this, they started to participate. They would chant 128 rounds every day. Even after doing all that, they were still feeling guilty. Madhai felt so much guilt for hurting Lord Nityananda. Right? And he went and begged Lord Nityananda's forgiveness. And then Nityananda Prabhu says, Madhai, will a father ever, get offended by the playful hits of a child? Right? But more than that, they kept begging. They never accepted that they were purified. They were so humble and fallen now or felt fallen now, that they begged, I still need to do something. You both have forgiven me, but I have committed offense against this entire town. What am I going to do? So they were asked to build a ghat by the Ganges by Ganga for people to bathe. So they built a ghat, and not only built the ghat, he would clean it every day, right? So at those days there were no toilets or anything, right? 500 years ago. So people would be on the banks for all their morning things, right? So after they would leave, they would clean the ghat. People would see them, and there were people who even threw stones at them. The same people, when Jagai Madhai were angry and were in their fierce condition, they would run away. Now seeing them humble, some people got angry. They said, oh, this is my opportunity to take revenge. Right? And they would hit him with a stone. He would get hit, he would pick up the stone, give it back to them and say, one is not enough. Hit me again, till you feel satisfied. That was their position. Right? So, we see all these stories, right? And there was somebody in a different class where they asked me, or this same Jagai Madhai class in a different setting, they asked me, they got this mercy, why can't we get? It's a wonderful question, right? If such sinners can get mercy, we have not sinned nearly as much as them, why can't we get? Right? But the answer is, mercy is a two-way street. Right? The sun was out today. If we all sat inside the house and said, I'm not getting any sun, I'm not getting any sun, is that considered intelligent? No. Mercy is always there. Right? The Lord's mercy flows just like waters of a flood, is what the Acharyas compare. Just like the waters in the flood go down to the lowest level first and then come up. In the same way, the mercy from the Lord is available for all of us. But we have to act. We have to step up and take that mercy. So that mercy is in many, many forms. In the form of books, in the form of temples, in the form of association like these sessions, hearing. If we do all of these, then we make ourselves capable of even accessing that mercy. Right? So this should give us a lot of hope that no matter what our position, we should be able to make progress in bhakti. So much so that we can attain perfection, that spontaneous love that feels so far out of reach for many of us is accessible. We just have to keep faith in the holy names, faith in the instructions of the Guru, and follow the path of bhakti, because so many have achieved it. Right? All right. Any questions or comments, please? Yes.
What do you mean by Gauranga and Gauranga? What do you mean by this?
Yeah, so it's a very wonderful name, right? So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu his one name is Gauranga, right? It literally means golden body, a person with a golden hued body, right? And that is because that's Krishna himself in the mood of Radharani, so he takes on the color of Radharani. So that's why it's Gauranga. So when we chant our pranam mantras, we say Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi, right? Tapta Kanchana means molten gold. You know that color of molten gold? That is Radharani's color. And that color is what Krishna took on as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So he is known as Gauranga.
Okay, because they always said like Bharje Gauranga,
Ah,
Ga Gauranga.
correct, yes.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yes, Mataji.
How to get rid of Krishna Aparat?
Yeah, that is it is a very difficult thing, right? So you know this pastime of where even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mother had committed an offense, right? Shachimata had committed an offense, and so she didn't get mercy until she begged forgiveness in her heart, right? Now, when we think about it, it's a very nuanced thing, right? But if our intentions are clear, we will commit offenses. There is no doubt, right? We don't have the necessary intelligence to even know what is the right way to interact, even with a spiritual master, for example, right? We commit so many offenses. But if our intention is still good, they will forgive, right? Almost all. They will anyway forgive. For them, they don't take any offense. They will forgive. But for Krishna to forgive, our intention must be good, right? If we do intentionally offend a Vaishnava, then we have to beg for forgiveness, right? Try to serve that person, beg for forgiveness, and then pray to Krishna for mercy, right?
Sometimes like offense comes in mind, not like physically, but how to get rid of that?
Yeah, their offense coming in mind, that is a difficulty, right? At least if we don't act on it, we are still okay. I've heard this, right? In Kali Yuga, we have this one concession. In the previous people may say, oh, people in earlier yugas were very lucky. But in the earlier yugas, if you even think of offending somebody, you have offended, right? Committing an offense, you have committed. You get the reaction. At least in Kali Yuga, we have one more extra barrier. Like, okay, if we somehow hold ourselves back. How to not think that way? We have to somehow get out of this lens of this body. Right? So we have to keep doing bhakti to purify ourselves. Then only we will come to a stage where we will not offend. Right? There's a verse in Bhagavad Gita says, Vidya Vinaya Sampanne Brahmane Gavihastini Shunichaiva Shopakecha Pandita Samadarshinaha. Krishna says that by developing knowledge and applying it, one becomes mild-mannered, Vinaya Sampanne. Then you will look at everybody and everything equally. Whether it is Brahmana, a cow, elephant, or even a Chandala, you will see in the same, a dog eater, you will see with the same lens. But we have to come to that stage. So we have to keep purifying. Right? Yeah. Yes.
Hare Krishna. In case like if any devotee is preaching outside and face the similar scenario like Nityananda Prabhu, what should be our action?
It's very difficult to answer generically, right? We have to understand in our hearts what our position is. If I think about it, if you are doing that action, preaching with absolutely no selfish notion, purely on instructions, you can go forward the same way Lord Nityananda did, right? But at least I can speak for myself, I doubt that will be the case with me, right? There will be some ego in it. If we are approaching with the intention of ego, we should not put ourselves in a dangerous position. We should not add additional trouble for Krishna, right? That's very important. So there are many ways to safely preach. There are many ways to safely spread the name. We stick to that. If you see the history of ISKCON, there were Prabhupada sent senior disciples to countries where their life was in danger. But they went simply because Prabhupada told them to. Right? They had no life of themselves. Their actions were completely dependent on Prabhupada, and they were more or less successful in most places, right? Russia, there were many countries, right, that they were successful because their attitude was like that. Their mindset was like that, right? So we have to be careful. We have to understand what our position is, right? Humility means to know our real position. If we know our real position, we should know how far we can do, right? If I pull you to say, okay, Prabhu, climb that tall tree there. You know if you can or you cannot, right? You will not put yourself in physical danger if you don't have to. So, does that help answer? Yeah. Thank you.
Another comment I have to add. Associating with Vaishnavas, it's a good thing. Obviously, we have discussed so far, and we have discussed so far. But it comes with the offenses to Vaishnavas as well.
Yeah.
When we are going to deal and associate with Vaishnavas, it comes that there is outcome. Offending to Vaishnavas.
Yeah.
So we need to be very careful about that.
Correct. Yeah. So even though there is a risk of offense, every decision has a risk, right? We always look at risk reward. The reward is so high that it is worth the risk. But we have
it doesn't mean we will avoid association,
correct.
but we need to be careful.
Careful, correct. You have to be cautious, right? Yeah. So again, to avoid offenses, we have to purify ourselves. The most effective way to purify ourselves is by chanting the Lord's names. If you have not started doing so, please, at least one round a day, if you chant, you will see the effect. It will take, for some people it takes longer, some people it takes less time, but you will see an effect almost immediately. Right? And then when you look back, every day it may not feel that way, but you look back 6 months ago, what used to really attract you is now not as enchanting for you. That means you've lost, your heart has purified a little bit. You have made some progress, right? Bhakti is a process for permanent benefit.
Like they'll be more attracting to association of Vaishnava rather than associating the other materialistic things.
Correct. There will be many symptoms like that come, right? Association, you will become attracted to association, you will become attracted to hearing, many such things will come up. Okay? Alright, thank you so much for your kind attention. Please forgive me if I misspoke something. Yeah. Prabhu. Prabhu, Mahaprasad.
Jai Jai Mahaprasad ki
Jai.
Mahaprasade Govinde
Mahaprasade Govinde
Nama Brahmane Vaishnave Kalpa Punna Vatandajan
Svalpa Punyavatam
Visasana Vajayate
Eva Jayate
Sharira Vidyajal
Sharira Vidyajal
Jara Indriya